When you're looking at your notes and you see these little red boxes, just make sure that your notes look like mine because it's really just me making mistakes on yours, printing them out, making copies before I've changed them to make them look nice. So make sure yours looks like mine whenever you see a red box on all these notes. Blank has the center of the circle as its vertex. These are central angles. Central angles have the center of the circle as their vertex. And when we're doing the algebra on these, like it's pretty straightforward. Central angles are the easiest ones. If this angle right here is 54, then the corresponding arc is 54 degrees as well. So that one is 54 too. DF down here would be a semicircle. It would be 180 as well, be half the circle. Normally we like semicircles with three letters, but we don't have another letter out here like X or something, EXF or something. So anyways, 180 degrees, half circle. GHJ, the angle right here, that's 110. Central angles, real nice and easy right there, 110 degrees. So when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing that AD and BE are diameters. So every so often, like I'm going to hold a pencil to my screen and I'm going to say, okay, AD is a diameter. That's going to cut it in half. That's 180 degrees. Or I'm going to say BE is a diameter. I'm going to cut the circle in half right there. So um, measure of angle AOB, angle it's given to us right there, 41. Arc AB corresponds with that angle right there. It's 41. Arc ED. Arc ED is down here. If I want to know what that arc is, I need to know what this angle is. I know that this is 41, so this is 41 degrees. Those are vertical angles, so ED is 41 degrees as well. Arc EAB, EAB, so that's all of this, EAB. I think it's half the circle, 180 degrees. AE, so I'm going to cut this circle in half right here. If I want to know what AE is, then I can say 180 minus the 41. So I'm going to try to write it right here. 180 minus 41, that's 139. Arc BC. BC, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut the circle in half at AD now. So I'm going to cut the circle in half right here. And I'm going to say 180 minus the 41 and the 38. So another way to write that would be like 180 equals 41 plus x plus 38. So that would be 79. I think that's 101 right here. 101, 101. Angle BOC. BOC, we just did that. I wrote it in. 101. And arc CAD. Arc CAD is all of this stuff. Arc CAD. That's everything except for this 38 right here. So I'm going to say 360 minus the 38. That is 322. I want you to look down at the bottom left, I think, of your paper and try the bottom left one. So push pause, try the bottom left one. MQ and NR are diameters. So those are going to cut the circle in half. Arc MN, that's 70 degrees right here. That one was easy. NQR, NQR. R. That's half the circle. 180. Arc QR. Arc QR. I think it's 70, right? We got our vertical angles right here. That's 70. So then that should be 70. Arc QMR. That's all of this. Let's do the highlighter. QMR. That's everything except for the 70, right? So I'm going to say 360 minus the 70 and get 290. I'd write 360 minus 70 right here if you're wondering where you're getting that from later on. Arc, PRN. PRN. Well, like I've been waiting to do this. So I'm going to cut the circle in half right here. And I'm going to find ROM or MOR. We'll say 180 minus that 70 and get 110 right here. So when I'm looking for PRN, that's all of this stuff. PRN. I can just add all that stuff up. So 70 plus 110 plus 70 plus 30. And get 280, I believe. Arc NQ. NQ is down here. Question, how did I know it was down there and not up here? Why did I decide to go that direction instead of the other direction? The reason is because it's 2 letters. If there was 3 letters, it'd be a major arc, but there's 2 letters, so it's a minor arc. NQ down there. Well, I think we're going to have to figure out what NP is first. So I'm going to cut it in half right here and say 180 minus the 70 and the 30 and get 80, I believe. So now NQ would be 80 plus 30, 110. Arc MRP, MRP. I'm just going to add it all up. 110 plus 70 plus 30 is 210, I think. Arc MR. MR, we already did it, 110. Arc PQ, 30 degrees. Central angle, that's the same right there. Nice, easy one to end on because now we're going to look at some inscribed angles. So these are inscribed angles. And our vertex is going to be on the circle now. It's not as easy as central angles. Central angles are really easy. They're just going to match up, you know, if this was 101, then this was 101. So inscribed angles aren't quite as easy. Still fairly easy. Magic number when it comes to inscribed angles is 2. Is 2. So when I'm looking at this arc and I want to know what that angle is, I'm either going to be multiplying or dividing by 2 on these. When I'm given an arc like this one and I want to find the angle, I'm going to divide by 2. So 95 divided by 2 is 47.5 degrees. This next one, if I wanted to find this arc out here, then I would take that and multiply by 2. When you're going from the angle to the arc, you multiply by 2. That's 280. Now, this question down here says arc QRS. So that's this part over here on the left side. So I would say 360 minus that 280 I just found and got 80 for that answer. And on the right side, I got angle TUV and TXV. Okay. Notice they both have endpoints right here. They both open up to 180. So they're both going to be the same answer. It's both going to be 90. Going to divide by 2. Going to divide by 2. It doesn't matter how many angles you got there or where that angle is. The angle could start right there and go right there and then right there. That angle is going to be 90 degrees right there. That's a 90 degree. That's a 90 degree. As long as its endpoints are there at the 180, the halfway point, then all those angles are going to be 90 degrees. Okay. Let's look at this one. Let's go down here and look at some. So I've drawn some. I've got 104 on the outside. Notice I've got a diameter right here. So if I want to know what this angle is, I need to know what this arc is that opens up to it. Okay. So I'm going to say 180, half of the circle, minus the 104. That gives me 76. So this is 76. And then in order to find this angle, given that arc, I'm going to divide by 2. So 76 divided by 2 is 38 degrees. This one, I'm given 2 arcs on the outside. If I want to figure out what this angle is, I need to know what that arc is. So we got to figure out what that arc is. I know that there are 360 total degrees in a circle. So I'm gonna kind of call this x right now. I'm gonna say 360 equals 148 plus 148 plus x. I don't know what the deal is with my pen. So that's 360 equals 296 plus x. Subtract that over and you get 64. That's not my final answer, but x equals 64 right there. If I'm given the arc and I want to find that angle, I'm going to divide by 2. So 64 divided by 2 is 32 degrees is my final answer. Okay. Similarly right here, I got a lot of lines here, but really one of the main lines is right here. That's 180 degrees. If I want to know this angle, I need to know the arc that it opens up to. So I'm going to say 180 minus the 100. That's going to tell me that this is 80, and in order to find that angle, I'm going to divide by 2 and get 40 degrees. Okay. We have some x's on here. That's okay. I've got an angle, and I would normally multiply that by 2 to get the arc. So like if this 6x minus 3 was 25, I'd say 25 times 2, that outside's 50. So I'm going to say 2 times 6x minus 3 equals 10x plus 12. Then I'm just going to solve. Distribute over here, 12x minus 6 equals 10x plus 12. 2x equals 18, x equals 9. If I'm given something that looks like this, I'm noticing the 180 again. It's getting cut in half. I got a diameter right there. So that's cutting it in half. I'm given everything on that bottom left-hand side. So I know that 180 equals 100 plus 5x plus 20. So combine my like terms, 180 equals 120 plus 5x. Bring the 120 over, you get 60. I think x equals 12. Okay, looks like we got some central angles right here. So I got to solve for x with these central angles. If that's 58, then this is 58. And I know there's 360 total degrees in a circle, so I'm going to say 360 equals 25x plus 58 plus 152. So that's 360 equals 25x plus 152, and 58 is 210, I believe. And bring that 210 over to the other side, you get 150. Divide by 25, you get 6.